We are doing this. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Back with another Chuck Shop Talk. Very, very excited. Let's make sure we're good on Facebook. If you guys are out there, like, comment, share. I don't know, tweet us out. Make a TikTok out of this motherfucker. I don't care. Whatever you gotta do to make this awesome. Let's make this public. Yeah. So now I should be able to see all of the great stuff that you guys have to say. Like I said, comment, everything. We have a terrific night going on. Trish Bankston, I love you, girl. Thank you so much. I know you one-hand typed to that, but I appreciate it. Thank you. John Westoff's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Katrina. Oh, right. Chuck's here, too. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Guys, we have a terrific show going on tonight. I'm biased as shit. I always am. I love our guests, but this guest, we are good buds. Like, we actually hang out together. We work together, and somehow we work together and still are able to be friends. So that's a little insane. But I've got Onrie Kompan on the show tonight. His Kickstarter for issue, 10 of his comic dropped today. It actually dropped at midnight yesterday. So yeah, super excited about that. I'm so glad. Oh, Trish, thank you. I got to hang out with Trish and Mike recently, and that was wonderful. It was like straight up just such a great experience. She made us an amazing breakfast. And what was wonderful is the poor woman, like, it's not easy for her. It hurts for her to do certain things. And she made us breakfast. And I was like, you didn't have to do that. And she was like, no, I really want to do something nice for you and Doug. And it was the sweetest shit ever. So thank you, hon. You're just a beautiful soul. And I really appreciate you. Thank you. Jess Rogie, what's up, baby? How you doing? So good to see you, girl. Thank you for popping in. Brian Manel is here. Yo. Ed McMahon. Oh, dude. Good to see you, man. I've never got to... Jess, you just publicly called me out, and I love that. Do you want to come on the show? I talk to creators of every kind. You definitely create content. If you want on the show, girl, you know where my DMs are at. Hit me up. I would fucking love to have you on. I would love to talk about your stuff. I'm all over that. So if you want to do this, I'm all about it. Let's make it happen. Absolutely. Dude, great show. Oh, I got to hang out with Chuck. I didn't give him much of a choice. True story. Rest in peace, C2E2. Okay, Jess. I'll be in contact. We will talk about it, and we will hopefully do something soon. That would be wonderbar. What is going on over here? I just got a message. Oh, no. Okay. So, yes. All right, let's do it. Then we're in. We're going to make that happen. Cool, guys. Like I said, Onrie Kompan is on the show tonight. I shall send you a message, Jess, absolutely. Onrie's on the show tonight. 10th issue of his book, Yisun Shin, hit Kickstarter today. Huge. I mean, huge deal. And luckily, I get to be a part of it, both as a fan and behind the scenes. So why don't we spin this motherfucker up, make this happen? And I almost started trying to do stuff off my laptop. So let's spin this up. Let's make this happen. Let's bring him out. And let's have a friggin' great show. If you guys have any questions, he's here.
Canadian bacon is actually really good, and it's nothing like normal bacon, and it's better than ham, which you guys seem to call Canadian bacon. I'm very good at writing. I write very well. Yeah, it's Shop Talk.
Do some of your audience members like the word fuck? Cool. Then I'm going to keep saying fuck. Because I care.
Dude, that is the best intro to a show. Like, my intros suck ass compared to that.
Okay, but I still like your intro.
No, my intro sucks, bro. Let's be honest here. Like, that was a goddamn intro. The Canadian thing, and, like, I felt like I was, like, on a roller coaster, and, like, now I see my face on the screen, and it's like I just really fast.
You just got off and not in the way you wanted to?
Hey! Actually, I forgot my DJ siren in the other room.
Right. See, I'm not on a network. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say.
so good. It's so liberating, you know.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Trish has always told me that I'm not like. She's like, Onrie doesn't swear, and I'm like, the fuck I don't.
Oh my gosh, hang out with this motherfucker. Yeah. Jody McPhee's in the house.
Oh,
what do we
got Joe McPhee in the house.
Yep. Tonight we're giving a fuck about Shin, about Onrie Kompan, all the shit he does. You guys have any questions for him? And here's the thing, he doesn't just create comics, he sells them. Like, this guy literally works across the board when it comes to comics and is a true fan of the medium. I saw there was someone on Twitter recently, and they said, if you have the chance to make your comics into movies or TV, I don't know. It was something basically about making comics so that you could make TV shows and movies. And I was like, fuck that noise, man. If you want to make TV shows or movies, go make TV shows and movies. If you want to make comics, make fucking comics. You have to respect the medium that you're in order to get the best out of it. And what I love about you, Onrie, is that you genuinely love comics. Like you all across the board.
There is only one thing I like more than that, Chuck, and it's porn. And really, when I started working on Shin, it was my dream to see a porn adaptation. Everybody wants to see like the film adaptation because they say that's where the money is. No, I say it's where porn is.
Yeah.
Porn is where the big bucks are. And I even got a great version of Shin that would work perfect for porn, even though Korean people are very conservative, and this is all just in good humor. So anybody who's Korean who's watching this, I hope you guys understand that this is a joke, kind of. But it's going to happen one day, and when it does, I want to see some residual money. Poon Shin.
I was close. Mine was She's Poon Thin.
Oh, that is actually really good. I like that one.
She's Poon Thin. So that was mine. Yeah, my take. I don't have one for Bilal yet. But I mean, we're not that far away anyway.
You need a subtitle for that, like Bilal,
right?
Orgy anal sex.
Well, so that's the funny thing is that like the original, we've changed the name, the subtitle for issue 3. It's currently issue 3 of Bilal. It's Bilal Tricurious.
Oh, there you go. That's issue. What's up, Andy?
Right? It was going to be Bilal 2's a crowd, 3's an orgy, but it was just too long. But if you're able to track down my original script, that's what it's listed.
Trish, I love you too. I hope you're doing all right, my friend. I haven't seen you in a while. I checked in on you at C2E2 because that was actually where Chuck and I were hanging out, and we both just think the world of you, and I hope you're doing well and that you're healing up.
Did we tell you that Doug and I actually dropped by her house on the way back?
Yeah, I saw pictures and everything.
Yeah, it was great.
You guys did the whole tour.
She makes some fucking mean biscuits and gravy, I'll tell you.
I don't doubt that for 1 second.
Yeah, there we go.
I absolutely do not doubt that for a minute.
See, Chris. Look at you right away.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, my man, dude. That guy, he is the man. He has been so supportive, not just with hanging out on the show and helping the algorithm and picking up comics from time to time and things like that, but just being here and sharing stuff. Like, he is the man. I love this guy. Chris Steiskal is the bomb.
He absolutely is.
So
Raymond Gregory enters the chat.
I don't mind if he's welcome if we're talking porn shit.
Right.
But Andy Pino, is that
that's my dad.
That's your dad. Oh,
that's my dad.
Mr.
No. He knows how this goes. He's watched the show before.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Andy, you've done a tremendously incredible job with your son. He is by far one of my favorite people. And I don't just say that lightly, Chuck. Shin would not be here at this very moment if it wasn't for you. You have meant so much to me as an editor on the series. I love you sporting the shirt too. But Shin was in a dead spot. You helped it out of that, just simply by being a friend, and not just that, an incredible effing editor. Like, and why am I saying effing?
Nah.
Incredible fucking editor. Fucking
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, my dad has heard swear words before. He's a trucker. We're good, guys. We're good.
Yeah. Yes, Wendy. Well, you're around when we're talking, Wendy.
Oh yeah, blow Yale. Oh, that's good. That's okay. Joe.
I like that.
Joe, you've given me some good ideas. That could work. That's pretty great. This is what you guys talk about when I'm not around. Yeah, no, we don't really hold back even when she is around. But yeah, dude, we're like 15 minutes in already. Hey, Josh Main, what's up, buddy? We're 15 minutes in already. We haven't skimmed the surface. We've just said hi to all you guys. Guys, today we are here to talk to Onrie, with Onrie, about Onrie. We want to, Mike Williams in the house. We want to dig into his processes, the stuff that he does, both as a comic creator, like as an excellent publisher. I would say an amazing writer. And honestly, if you have ever seen or heard tales of this guy on the floor selling, dude, there is almost no one on the floors as far as comic creators go who sling books like this motherfucker. So, yeah, I mean, and then obviously you also sell comics for, you know, like your own racks. Like you buy up people's collections and stuff and you sell them off too. So you're all over the spectrum. What is it about comics that, because you used to work, I hope I'm okay with bringing this up, you used to have a very profitable job on like a Wall Street style job. Is that correct?
Yeah. Just for simplicity's sake, we'll say that.
Okay. And you effectively gave that up to get into comics. So what is it about comics that you can say, oh, fuck you, money, there's something more important I need in my life?
Well, Chuck, I'll start it off with this. The only regret I have about working on Wall Street is that I didn't quit sooner to work in comics, because where I'm at now is where I could have been 10 years ago had I started sooner. But the skills that I learned working on Wall Street are what kind of brought me to this point where I'm at now. Because I think I developed this desire to get out of that environment and pursue my creative endeavors so much that what ultimately ended up happening was I developed this huge desire to want to get out of there. And by the time I finally did, it was very liberating. And being able to do this at a full-time capacity has been anything but easy. It hasn't been, it's not like it's like you get to live your dream, so every day's great. No, there are some days when things suck. And I can tell you right now that I'm coming off a lot of things that suck professionally. And that's just how it is. That's the business. But I think that and I remember Stan Lee saying this to me when I was in his office back in 2010. He, once I asked him to write the foreword to my book, we were talking a little bit more, and I told him, Stan, I'm looking to get into comics. Like, what kind of advice do you have for me? And he said, Onrie, if you do what you love, then you're not going to work a day in your life. It's not work, it's play. And that's how I feel when I come into comics. The only time I don't feel like that is when I'm taking care of fulfillment, like packaging up.
Right. Which you just did a shitload of.
It sucks. Yes, there's a lot of that. But I mean, again, it's the ultimate goal. Like why do I do it? Like, what's it for? It's for getting to work with you. It's for getting to work with Dexter Wee, our artist, and just and some of these other incredible talents that we brought on, like Marissa Pope and Anvu, and I don't know why names are slipping my head right now, but we have other. I just don't want to let it slip the surprise variant cover, I guess. So I'll just leave it at that. But it's really a pleasure to be able to work with other creators whose work I enjoy very much and who I know have a huge fan base, and letting them have their chance to work on Shin and do something, or whatever other project like Warline, which is really kind of like what got us working together in the first place. Yeah. And we could talk. I think we could talk about Warline.
I think we can absolutely talk about Warline. Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, it's up to you, but yeah, I don't think there's anything to hide. And in fact, it's great to get people excited. Josh Main, speaking of writing, my writing debut is live now with another story by some hack, CPino. True story. Luna Tales 2 is up right now. Hey, Josh, and anybody else, by the way, if you've got Kickstarters going on, or you've got one coming up and you've got a link that people can follow, put it in the chat, please.
I actually
we're very supportive.
I want to support you, dude. I want to check out Michael. Was it Mike? Josh?
Oh, Josh Main, yeah. So
send us your link. I definitely want to support your Kickstarter.
Josh Main and I got writing credits for a great book called Luna Tales 2, done by the absolutely amazing Wendy Steenshainer, who's in the house as well. Good to see you, hon.
We're graced by excellence here.
Yeah.
Wendy, how you doing?
So yeah, please drop that.
Williams, he does another samurai book. Is this Blood and Fire?
I don't know. I might tell. I mean, I know we've talked about it before, but there's a lot of books out there. Tell us about the book that you're working on too, Mike. Onrie has talked me off the edge a few times at shows. Yeah. Well, and I think
comic conventions. Yeah, I remember we were at C2E2 in December, and like it was nothing like what I experienced in the summer show, but I was getting wrecked at that show. And like, Joe was messaging me and he goes, how's it going over there? And I'm like, the Lord is watching us get screwed. It's like we were all getting our asses kicked.
Yeah. I had a really good experience at this last C2E2.
I'm really glad you did. Because so many creators, it could be up in the air. Now I know a lot of creators have really great experiences at C2E2, but mine has always been a shot in the dark. Sometimes it's a great show, and then sometimes it's not such a great show. This year it was, and so was Emerald City Comic Con. I mean, that was probably my finest performance at a convention to date. I had such a blast.
That's awesome. Okay, Sam's coming out with some questions. What is your favorite genre to write in?
Sam, that's a great question. I don't really do genre writing. I kind of go with where the story takes me. Like so far, I've been kind of driven into this direction of history with both Yisun Shin and Marx. But as you guys will soon discover, that's really not what I do. I am definitely not a CHS. Definitely not a genre writer. For me, it's about the story. It's about the characters and what their struggles are, and what makes it compelling. How do I relate to these characters, and what is it about the story that I have to add that isn't necessarily unique, but kind of like Chuck, you and I talked about this last time I was on your show, that it's like you can tell the same story, but when you tell it, when someone else tells that story, it's going to be told differently that next time. It's not going to be the exact same way. It could be the same story, but it's going to have its own twist, and that's just how it is. I mean, like even like just take Yisun Shin. Like our version of Yisun Shin is its own thing, and there are other movies about Yisun Shin, and the history is there. The story is kind of like outlined, right? But everybody has their own take on how battles were fought and what happened in between. It's not like it's this linear thing where it's like, all right, I know the story of Robin Hood, thus I don't ever need to see a Robin Hood movie again. But Robin Hood movies are there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and see, I love that that's your take, because I fully prescribe to that ideal. For me, like I used to do this thing to help me go to sleep instead of like counting sheep. As a storyteller, I would do this thing where I imagined a blade coming down and someone blocking it. Now, the blade, the way they blocked it, the weapon they blocked it with, the people, that would always change. The only things that were always the same was blade comes down, is blocked. That's it. And what it allowed me to do is every night when I went to sleep, I was imagining new characters, new styles, different blades. Maybe one of them was with a shield, one was with a different sword, like one was with a metal arm, like any number of things. There's so many different ways that you could play with that, and that kind of allowed me to sort of have kind of an elastic brain. And it was kind of my idea of like, you need to be able to stretch it and sort of exercise your brain and go, there's 1,000 ways to look at this. Which one excites me the most at this particular moment?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people in here now. We got Dexter.
We do.
He's in the house, our artist.
Well, Mike Williams says The Legend of the Wild Oni. That's his book.
Yep, I already liked it, by the way. And
oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
okay.
checking out the art is sick on that book, by the way. It looks amazing.
Katrina's got her book coming up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were sad you couldn't make it too because so many great people were there.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, Wendy. We did totally miss you there.
Yeah, Katrina. Actually, I think so. Katrina showed up at my table on Friday, and she was there for the whole weekend. And I sold out. I was given 5 copies of Luna to sell. I was given copies, which is amazing because as an editor, I often don't get anything, and that's fine. But it was very sweet of Wendy to give me copies to sell. And within literally like an hour and a half, all 5 were gone. So I don't know if Katrina was even there to see that I had that book because it sold out literally that fast. I had one person show up. Ooh, that's a great idea. I want it. And then I had a mother show up and say, I want the rest. I want 4 copies. And I was like, that's it. Like there was part of me that almost didn't want to sell it to her because I wanted it out to as many different people as possible. But you're like, how do I not sell them? Like, it's guaranteed. They want them all. Why would I say no?
Hey man, Steph showed up. He shots
Oh,
fired.
no.
Son.
I'll get to him eventually. He's worth waiting for.
He's worth waiting for.
There we go.
Yeah, so this is actually Jean-Paul Deschamps' book. And I was actually one of the first backers on it. I love Sons of Fate. It is a top seller for me on my sales shows. We absolutely love that show. I can't wait to see what he does next. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. That's awesome. Great book. Dexter's in the house.
Wendy had to keep going. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, we do. The security in this joint is shit. It's absolute shit. Number 1 live stream in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Yeah, he fired the shots. Like, that was cold, man.
Right? And the only reason I have even been to Oklahoma this year was so that I could go see Trish. Oh, I was happy not going to that state. Sean Barbour's in the house. Good to see you, homie. Holy fuck. Look at this. Ray Merrick. Dude, good to see you, buddy. Holy shit. Out of the woodwork. Great to see you, man. See, Katrina says if I'd seen it, I'd have bought it. Yeah. So it showed up even before she did. Like, they were gone. Life living off of comp coffees. Yeah, and I mean, anyone who's been to my nice backdrop, did you get decorating chips from Chuck?
I got bacon in mind, Steph. What do you have in yours?
Right. He has a shitty 7-Eleven cup. That's what he's got.
Actually, I could change my background. I just don't like doing that crap.
He's got that and a towel.
I don't like CGI crap.
Yeah, no. So, okay. You worked on your first 2 big pieces were Yisun Shin. We're now on issue 10. Like, holy fuck. And then Marks, which is a great story about your grandfather, correct?
Yeah. And it's available as an add-on on our Kickstarter, too.
Okay. And then now we're working on Warline, which is, again, like a very different take for you so far. It's much more, I mean, Yisun Shin is really action-oriented, but this is complete fiction. This is just from your own head, which I absolutely love.
Sorry, Justin totally fucking ripped Steph just now. That was
what did he do? Steph doesn't know anything about backgrounds. I think he does his show in his I love how he rips on us for our backgrounds, but he does his show in like his fucking kitchen. At like the island in his kitchen.
Matt's in the house.
Oh wow.
Chuck, that was the best introduction you made for me at C2E2 is Chris Matt. I freaking love this guy. He's awesome.
I don't remember what I said.
You introduced us, dude. We had dinner with Chris and Doug. I met Chris Matt through you. You don't remember that? It was 2022. We was walking down the street in Chicago.
Right.
And it was a beautiful night. There was a whole bunch of derelicts out on the street. I was hoping I could break into dance and sing that shit.
Aw. Trish says, thank you again for the visit. It did get me out of depression enough to start making more buttons for other creators. Oh, that's great. I mean, take care of yourself. But Chris Matt's in the house. And, of course, you guys got to meet and hang out, which was awesome.
Yeah, we met thanks to you.
Chris, really glad to do it. I mean, technically, yes, it wasn't a tag.
It wasn't an official tag, but you know the way I see it, it's like cinematic the way that that story took place because that was like literally Chuck seeing a loaded like cannon and just lit the match and the ball went off. You know, it was really like that, and he was just such a natural with it. And he sold it for more than I was selling it for. He helped sell a lot of that book. Jesus Christ.
So the morning, it was Saturday morning. It was the second morning. And I went over to your booth just to say hi, just to start the day off. You know, I like to go and just say hi to everybody real quick. And I went over to your booth. There was a customer there. And there's a guy behind the booth. And I didn't know the person at all behind the booth. And the guy is kind of like looking through the stuff. And the other guy... The first thing I hear as I walk up to the booth, I hear, the artist will be back soon. And I was like, artist? If they're calling him the artist, they have no fucking clue who Onrie is. I have to step in. So I like literally this poor guy, and it turns out it's your niece's boyfriend. So, yeah. And I mean, great dude.
I had such a shit morning, Chuck.
No.
You know, everybody's like, oh, you get to live your dream. Oh, isn't that great? You know, I twisted my ankle because we were walking like forever on Friday to go have dinner. Remember?
Yeah.
So I twisted my ankle on the way back just because I was on my feet for so long and then just doing that long walk. So I had a twisted ankle all weekend. And yeah, hold on. Oh, go ahead. You were going to say something?
So I showed up to your booth.
Yeah.
And he's had this terrible morning. I show up to his booth. This guy's behind there, and someone's asking. And I walked right in behind the booth. And the guy's like, who the fuck is this dude? I was like, don't worry, I'm the editor. He's like, what? And I said, what can I tell you about this book? What can I do for you? And he was like, oh, I was just checking it out. It looks really cool. I was like, it's not really cool. It's freaking awesome. I said, this is Yisun Shin. And he's like, can you tell me about it? And I was like, yeah, because I just spent the last several weeks reading every single issue, piling over issue 1 and issue 10, because those are the two that I ended up editing. Went through all of it, so I knew exactly what to talk about. So I told him the story. I'd heard you pitch it tons of times. Yeah, see? I'm the editor, opens doors. Yeah, it did. Just walk straight up. I'm selling the book, and then as I do, I grab the issue 1, the remastered issue 1 that you had there, and I pass it to the guy behind me, and I point out my name, and I'm like, yeah, see, that's me. And he's like, just do the sale, man. I was like, I'm doing the sale, don't worry. He's picking everything up. So, yeah, on the books, it says $25 for the hardcovers, and you sell your regulars, your floppies at $3, right? So I told the guy, I was like, okay, cool, I'll do them all for $53. And he's like, all right, great, yeah. So and then he's like, do you take credit card? And I'm like, well, I do. So I just like swiped it on my own square, and I was like, I'll pay him back later, I guess. And what's funny is Friday at C2E2, I didn't make any card sales. It was all cash. So Shin was the first card sale I made at all of C2E2, which was hilarious.
That's a great story. So what happened that morning that sucked, the reason why we couldn't take credit cards is because I left my stupid phone in the car. So I was just in this really depressed state, walking to the convention center with a twisted ankle, only to realize as soon as I got into the security line that I freaking forgot my phone in the car. So I had to walk all the way back, and I couldn't run back. I wanted to run back, but I couldn't. I had a twisted ankle. So that really sucked. And the fact that I came back and like Chuck like just totally handled the sale and like did such a spectacular job with it, that made up for what would have been a really, really rough morning. And so I'm just really grateful for this guy. He totally just took the bull by the horns and broke the frickin' bull's neck.
It was fun. I had a blast being able to do it. Not a lot of people you can just, and I mean, you guys are all making fun of me here, and I love it. But there's not a lot of times we can just walk by and be like, I'm going to make this sale. Fuck that. So it was just a lot of fun. I had a great time with it. And yeah, you know, I mean, no one stopped me. I pulled it off. The guy bought it. And didn't he come back and talk to you more over the weekend, too?
Afterwards, yeah, it was great. He just bought every goddamn thing on the table. It was great. That was like
Dude, that's awesome.
One of the best sales ever.
I love that. And he paid extra. That's the best part.
No, he didn't pay extra. He paid cover price. I usually mark down, and I mark down so I can sell faster. But the fact that you just came in and took care of it was awesome. Yes, Chuck is the man for sure.
Now I know for next time. So yeah, man. So I mean, you do all this stuff. You come from this Wall Street style background. You've done all these sales and everything. And then of course now we hit. Here's the thing that I knew Onrie Kompan when I met you. It was Justin's out. Have a good one, buddy. Enjoy dinner. We got the bromance, dude. Nothing you can do about it, Steph. You can't get in the way of true love, man.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Yeah, right. And in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, that true love is usually with cousins. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, man. So you did all this stuff. When I met you, you were mad conventions, all about like conventions all the time. And you kind of slow that down a little bit. And you were, you know, selling like just stupid. And then the pandemic hit. And that's when I really got to know you. And that's when you pivoted. And I think that's something people really need to hear about your pivoting story, because it's one that's not, we hear way too many failures and not enough people who take the punch and then come back fighting. So can you tell us your fight story?
Oh, yeah, sure. Every day of my life is a fight story. But yeah, when the pandemic hit, that basically shut down my business. I mean, I couldn't go to conventions, and thus I couldn't really sell at the same capacity that I was at. And it took a long time for me to be able to sell enough books to the point where I could make a stable income doing it. It wasn't until 2019, in fact, that I was really making enough money to the point where I was like, okay, cool. This is, this is where I can say, like, I do this full time and it's cool. And then I had really big plans for for 2020, and then the pandemic hit, and that just kind of like deterred me completely. It's a struggle we all share. But it put me in a pretty dark place. Like, one convention gets canceled, and then I put money into another, and then that gets canceled. All these other things happen, and it was just really unfortunate. And I was in a really dark place, and there were it was for a long time I was really doing nothing. I mean, I started doing interviews. Chuck was one of my first guests, but I went from making money to not making any money at all again, like kind of fast. And I'd been paying myself for a number of years, but it was sort of like a steady build to the point where I was getting kind of comfortable. And I still have a lot of room to grow and improve in this area. But regardless, that's besides the point. It was just really tough for me to get to a point where I saw growth and then just be stunted so suddenly. And it really made me question a lot about what I was doing and whether or not it was a worthwhile pursuit, because every time I felt like I was getting a little bit further ahead, something just knocked me down. And I started freelance editing at first, and it just wasn't for me. I have a hard time just sitting there reading other people's scripts all day and knowing what to fix and how to make it better. It's one of those things where I have this desire to always want to make things better, but creators aren't always going to listen to what I have to say. It's a really kind of a tough thing. Like, you and I have a great relationship, Chuck, because most of the time I'm either going to do what you tell me to do because you're right and I trust you. And the times when I have a question about something or a concern, you hear me, and then we kind of go and work from there. So it's a very harmonious relationship because I know what editing is. It's a lot of work. And as far as like freelance writing goes, like, how come I didn't go and pursue anything in freelance writing? Because you just gotta have a huge body of work, and I've been in this business for a long time now, and I write one comic that comes out every Shrove Tuesday. So it's not like I have this ability now to come in and start throwing myself out there as a freelance writer and make the same kind of money I was going to conventions. So what I really did was I really kind of built my own kind of career path and my own sort of like little tiny place in the comics world, and it was taken away from me just as soon as I had achieved it, or so I thought, and it took me a long time. It was probably from like March until September. I was just doing a lot of interviews and kind of trying to stay in the scene, but I didn't have any other options. I didn't know what else I was going to do. And then one day I just woke up and I'm like, what I really want to do is sell comics. So I'm going to do that. And so I just started selling comics. I didn't allow COVID to tell me I couldn't do that. And, I started doing these live streams, and I didn't know anything about running a comic shop or doing anything like that. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. The most amount of comics I ever owned was like 2 long boxes. My collection was mainly graphic novels, and I was reading stuff like that doesn't hold a lot of value over time. Most of the time I read comics as reference, not really for the opportunity to profit off of it. So I would read like The Spirit and Shaolin Cowboy and like things like that. Like, even though I am a Spider-Man fan, I don't have like this huge collection of Spider-Man comics. I've read a lot of those books and I've read a lot of different stuff, but I wasn't this big avid collector with this huge collection, and I certainly never saw the monetary value of comics. So until I realized, like, hey, you can actually make money doing this. So I got into it with a very good friend of mine, Kevin Hines, and we started selling on Facebook. And not long after that, Jen King from Space Cadets reached out, and she said, we would love to have you on the Comic Book Shopping Network. And I agreed because I'm like, I'm going to get to be in this closed group of dealers, this like tight-knit circuit of dealers who are all very knowledgeable of the business and are growing this platform, which is really cool. So I was now selling on CBSN, and it's been a lot of growing pains, because it's a very kind of different business model. Like, when you're self-publishing, you know what your unit cost is based on the amount of books you're printing up. So it's a pretty obvious like way, you know how to mark. You mark up your books, you're going to make money on them. Like, that's just, it's a pretty obvious thing. Like, I'll just give it to you guys simply. Like, we just printed up an exclusive for both Emerald City Comic Con and Dragon Con. Each unit costs $250. The markup on it is $10. So, there's, what the profit margin is on your book. And the same thing goes for like a mass print. You get those books at whatever, how many cents a unit, and then you price them obviously, and it's easy. When it comes to collectibles, though, it's a little bit different because you're buying and inheriting other people's collections, and you don't know what the value of the collection is. Like, I bought a massive collection in January, which included a lot of key books in it. It had Amazing Spider-Man 300. It had New Mutants 98. It had Star Wars #1. Just a lot of really nice key books in there. And I've sold through the majority of that of that lot. And I want to say that it made me good money, but it was a lot of money up front, and the amount of time that it took for me to, know what to sell each book at took a lot of time and, pricing out and really learning the collection. And it's not easy. And it's certainly not as lucrative as, say, sitting in a desk and banging your head on a keyboard from 9 to 5, but it is far more exciting for me personally. Some people do by it, but I love every second of it. I usually do a lot more of my hunting around like wintertime. And I usually like stock up when I go to conventions right now. And I also interact with a lot of independent creators because I want to sell their work. That's the stuff that I'm really interested in because you can go on Jen King's show and buy any book that that's through the distribution channels or through any other dealer on CBSN. But those local creators from Seattle or those local creators from Ohio or whatever, from Phoenix, those creators, Jen doesn't know those people, because she can't be everywhere at once. Not everybody can know all these creators. So having that chance to interact with them, buy their books and resell them on our show helps to get the word out about what they're doing. And it's something that I really love doing. That's like my way of giving back to comics because, I know how hard it is to sell your stuff. It's so hard. And it's so unforgiving too. I mean, the amount of rejection that we deal with at conventions is insane.
There's a lot. I mean, especially like my go-to line usually is, "Hey, do you like comics?" It's a nice opener, especially if you're not able to get any immediate anything immediately off of them. It's, "Hey, do you like comics?" If they do, then you can bring them in, and definitely get more no's than yeses. Definitely, absolutely. And then you'll get people who come by and they go, "Well, duh," and I'll go, No. Like immediately, I have to tell them, no, it's not duh. I get way more no's than yeses, and they'll be like, "Well, yeah, but I'm wearing a Spider-Man suit," and I got 5 other fucking Spider-Mans who said no to me because they all love the fucking movies and TV shows and cartoons and whatever else, and they couldn't name one fucking issue of Spider-Man the comic book. So I love that you feel that way, but it's not a duh.
Yeah. Now, Joe, I'm gonna just say I'm definitely not making fun of you for banging your head. I commend you for being able to do that because at least you're making money doing it and it's working for you. And it's I am not insulting you at all. I mean, no insult to anybody who has to or chooses to work those 9 to 5 jobs. God bless you guys. Because it's part of the sacrifice. And yes, it does allow you to publish comics. You have my utmost respect. You are the grown up, Mike Williams, saying Shaolin Cowboy sounds interesting as fuck. Yes, it is. It is so fucking good. And it's really it's the art and it is a story too. Jeff Darrow is fucking hysterical. The stories are great. You should just pick up any of those books. They're awesome.
Well, and your boy, I wouldn't know him because of you. David Moore is in the house.
Yeah, he runs David's Pizza.
So,
do you know David's Pizza? You just go to.
I don't know David's Pizza.
You got to go to YouTube. We'll have to share the link. I'll share the link and you can drop it down.
Oh, is that the one bite?
No.
Where he does the pizza reviews?
No. It's
Oh, okay.
Hang on. It's gonna start playing.
I love Steph Wilson. Selling comics, I recommend sexy variant covers.
He's not wrong. And that shit does
he's
sell.
Not wrong.
He's absolutely not wrong. I mean, that's what you gotta have something that's gonna, and Chuck, I just sent you the link to that.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. And if you want to drop it for everybody else too, but in the comments. But yeah, it boobs sell. I mean, what can I say? I mean, no one is ever going to say no to that. And you know, I get it. You know, like Yisun Shin is like, you have to explain to people what a Yisun Shin is in order for them to find any kind of interest in it. You know, and it's one of those things where it's not that it's a hard sell. It's actually a very easy sell once you know the story. But when you just see boobs, you don't need to sell anything. There's just boobs. It's just there. It's like, here,
sold.
Pick this up. Yeah, exactly. It's done. Boobs.
Yeah.
The $sign. Absolutely. Step, you're right. It's the only reason.
Oh, and Chris Matt says, I'm just no good at 9 to 5.
Either
I
am
agree with that.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Shit, Dave gets to sell comics and gets free pizza. That's not a bad setup.
That's not all he does, too. He does all kinds of shit.
Look at Chris still coming out. Thank you, Chris, for showing off the
fire.
You man.
He is fired, my man.
What are we at right now for Yisun Shin? At this very second, what is it at?
All right, let's check it out right now, man. I haven't even looked. I to look very little. All right, so we're at 46 backers now. We're at $1,445. This is the strongest day one I've ever had for my personal Kickstarters. Like, I know that there are other Kickstarters that would have been at like $15,000 now, but this is really great, Chuck. Like, for a first day, I'm extremely like there's a lot to celebrate here. But we're at 46 backers right now. What do you say we do something kind of cool for backer 50? What?
I was about to say we got to do something to get. I would like by the end of the show. It sounds like Onrie has something planned, but before he tells you his plan, I want to say that personally, I would like to see this go up to 50 backers at least and $1,500 by the time this show is done. So you need to fund today. No, that's some work, man.
Okay, Joe funded in an hour. That was amazing work.
What was his goal?
It was like $500, but still.
Yeah, that's good though. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I was when I launched this, I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, like when he was like, setting up all the traps and everything for the Predator. And then Ted was like, you should launch. Ted Sikora was telling me you should launch at midnight so that when you wake up, what's up, December? How you doing?
Hey. I got the greatest hug I've ever gotten from December Lace when we met. And it was just after I had sold those comics at your booth Saturday morning. She came up and she gave me the biggest hug. And here was the great thing about that hug. It was one of those hugs where you hug, and then as a man, I don't know about other people, but for me as a man, I kind of go, okay, give it like a 2 count or something. And I started to let go, and December's got like the fucking death grip, and I was like, okay, great. I'll let you let go. And it was like a good 7 or 8 count. Like, it was great. She could have put me down.
I was like, come on, guys. We got to get back to work here. Break time's over.
I'm trying to sell here.
No, December's absolutely.
But yeah, it was the best. But yeah, so 50 backers. What are you thinking?
I think, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook up the 50th backer with a Yisun Shin t-shirt. I think that's just the cool thing to do.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Get a free backer 50 gets a free Yisun Shin t-shirt. We're at 46 backers, so that's 4 more backers, and we got that going, which I think is really
so
awesome.
Get in there, guys.
And
Facebook user, nice to see you.
And there's some really great incentives that we have here for this Kickstarter. So one thing I wanted to point out, Chuck, is that for the first time ever, we got original art for sale on here. Can I show it off real quick?
Of course you can, yeah.
Awesome.
While he grabs that, Blake from Blake's Buzz is on here. Blake, good to see you, man. You and I need to talk because I have a book I want to talk to you about next month. So, but thank you for showing up, buddy. Much love. Books, boobs, hugs. What did I tune into here? The greatest fucking show on Tuesday. That's what you turned into.
What's up?
Chuck, it was my first time seeing you. I know, and it was. You can never have your first time again, so it was perfect.
That's awesome. All right, so this is an original piece of art. This is the fourth cover of Warrior and Defender, and this is the original piece of art. The ink's done by Giovanni Timpano. So when I met Gio in 2012, he gave me all of the original artwork of Shin, Warrior and Defender, which is really cool. And he even gave me some of the Fallen Avengers stuff that he did. And I have never sold off any of this stuff before, and I'm selling it off very effing sparingly. So this Warrior and Defender 4 cover, that's a really that's a very iconic cover. It's the same artwork that you see on the T-shirt. This is the original artwork for that, and we have it up on the Kickstarter for one lucky backer at $500, and it comes with all the books and everything. But aside from that, that's a big ask. Obviously, I just wanted to show it off because
No, that's cool.
It's just a cool thing. But I'm now at 47. That's fantastic in 1460. We're $40 away and 3 backers away from someone getting a T-shirt. And then December says she'll add goodies too for the 50th backer and also random backers. Just let me know. December, you're fantastic. Thank you so much.
She's amazing.
She absolutely is amazing. And we're from the same town too. Or not same state. Be a hero. You're awesome. December's great.
See, look at Blake says that's crazy. Looking at the campaign page and this book looks gorgeous. Yeah.
Chuck's the editor on this. And Chuck, I have some news I'd like to share.
Yeah, okay.
So Warrior and Defender number 2 and 3 are almost out of print. So we got to go back to press on them very soon, which means that we need to do exactly what we did with Warrior and Defender number 1 on those 2 books, which is going to get you some more editorial credits and work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's the good news. The bad news is we have a couple weeks to get that done.
I mean, I'm down. I'm down for it.
And he is. He always is. And the thing I love about working with you, Chuck, is Chuck will be on the phone with you and all night if he has to be. It's the amount of work we have done together and the amount of hours and agony that we have spent looking over certain pages. I mean, so far it's been kind of easy. But still, agonizing on pages. It's I always feel that whenever I'm lost, Chuck always has the answer, and if it's not filled out right away, Chuck will tell me, well, then you need to just think about it some more. And that particularly was the case with Warline, really kind of moving that second script into place, which is now in production. We're now done with the first 6 pages of Warline number 2, which is really wild. You got to see some of these pages.
Oh, wow.
They're really good.
I do. Yeah. Well, and that was the funny thing is so when we started Warline, I would tell you, I broke Onrie of a little habit. He was doing a lot of the layouts.
Yeah.
And I understand his reasoning. But he was doing a lot of the layouts, and I was like, dude, you can't do that for multiple reasons. One, it's way too much fucking work for you to have to lay out an entire book. But also, any good artist worth their salt wants to do their own layouts. They want to show you the shit that they can do. So with Dexter, I was like, dude, I think this guy can pull it off. Why don't we give him a test page? Because the first couple layouts that you brought, the first couple pages, they were solid. I liked them. And I think he actually ended up generally using them. And then we got into page 5 or 6 or something. It was them trekking up a mountain, Warline and his daughter. And I was like, I don't mean to be rude, but I hate your layout. It doesn't work. It doesn't. And I said, my problem is I'm not a fucking artist. I don't know how to fix it. I said, let's use this page on Dexter. Let's see what Dexter can do. Do not show him this layout. Tell him that he needs to take care of this and to see what he does. And he blew that one out of the water.
He absolutely did. And you were right about it. And that was the one. And you know how I knew you were right about it? So Dak and I were David Anthony Kraft and I, we were doing layouts on Nissan Shin Fallen Avenger 4. That's really the book where we really kind of took the reins and really. You are awesome, December. Love you too. You are, yes.
Yeah.
143.
What does 143 mean?
I love you. That's
that makes sense. The numbers. That's good. That's good.
And Chris, you love doing layouts. I love doing layouts. Like that was something I was really passionate about. But again, I'm not the artist, so it's a little bit more, and it's also time consuming because you have to study a lot of comics. You have to really understand sequential story and telling and all its little nuances. And sometimes your hand and your brain just don't agree with each other. And like when you're drawing stuff, it's just not there. But that was one thing that Dak said after we finished Fallen Avenger 4 was he was really disappointed in our layouts because the artist should really be the one that handles all those things. And I don't think I could have just handed it off to anyone. I really think that Dexter really brought something special to the table with the way he was doing the layouts, and you made the right call, and you were right. And I think it's the responsibility of every writer and artist to listen to their editors, because those are the guys who are watching your six. And if you're going to ignore what they have to say, then you're gonna pay the price. It happens all the time. I've seen it. I have ignored editorial advice in the past. I've seen other people ignore editorial advice in the past, and it has bitten them in the butt really badly. Always have someone watching your six, and if they have a problem with it, listen to it. And if you don't agree with what your editor is saying, talk to your editor and figure out how to, have your cake and eat it too. There's not one way to do things, but there are wrong ways to do things. And the reason why you want to hire an editor is so that you avoid those pitfalls as often as possible.
Yeah. Katrina says, Onrie, since you sold me 1 through 4, is it possible to get just 5 through 10 on the Kickstarter?
Yeah, absolutely. So, here's what I suggest you do. Katrina, if you go to, let's see here, if you just pick up issues, I'm going to add it right now because this is kind of the other thing that I absolutely love about Kickstarter is that you get to get to do this. You get to do this. You can throw in all, you can add all your other stuff afterwards, but I'm going to add this right now. So if you go to the Kickstarter and let's say you just get issue 10, I'll add issues 5 through 9 as an add-on for you guys.
I was going to say, can you not already get like say the hardcover or the?
You can get the hardcover, which is great, and I'll tune this in a little bit later, but since Katrina wants those single issues, single issue.
Oh yeah.
Physical edition. Single issues. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we're adding that new item right now, and so yeah, you could do that. Hang on just a second here. Sorry, guys, I suck. Yeah, just get the.
Make sure probably that it's only issues 5 through 9.
Yeah, it's
she's going to buy 10.
Yeah, because she's going to get the 10th issue the other way. So we'll do issues 5 through 9. It'll be like $15. And actually, hold on a second. It'll probably be a little less than that. Oh, geez, I'll do it for 13.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all, Steph. Trish said, do you want some buttons? Happy to throw a set of 6 jumbo buttons to you, Onrie, for backer 50. You know what?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because,
I should actually have. Trish has done some really badass buttons for me. So, Katrina, I added that add-on for you, so you can go now. If you just want issues 5 through 9, you can go to the Kickstarter campaign and pick up the $10 reward, which is Shin number 10 cover A. And we got 8 backers on that so far. That's going to be our main printed book. You can get that, and then you can go in and add on issues 5 through 9. I've made that possible.
Great. There we go. And what are we at now? How close are we to 50? Because like you're talking about, hey, let's give more stuff to backer 50, but I'm thinking we got a backer 100 to think about, a backer 150, 200, all those down the road.
I think everybody's afraid to be the next backer. So I'm gonna hook up. How about we do some prints for the next 3 backers? I'm gonna
Okay.
just as in some incentive. So not everybody's a t-shirt person, but if you give me just 1 second, I'm gonna go get a really cool print that I will hook you guys up with.
All right, so we're at 47 backers. So 48, 49, and 50 will each get a print. Or sorry, 48 and 49 will get a print. And then, of course,
there's only 100 of these prints available.
Oh, yeah.
And they come signed and numbered, and this is the cover A of Hunter and Destroyer number 2. So the next 2 backers who jump on will get this print for free with their reward. I got you covered.
Wait, did Chris Mack just say what I think he just said?
Whoa, yes, Chris, I would love for you to come on and do a stretch, bro. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We will talk for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment, Facebook user.
Yeah, that's Josh Pentelresco.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude,
Wow.
Chris, you're awesome, man.
That's amazing.
Talk. That is really cool. And it should be more than a sketch. You and I will talk. We'll do some business together, bro.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, man. Dude, are you kidding me? It to work with Chris and to have him do something with Shin would be like a dream come true. I absolutely love Chris Mack. He's an incredible artist.
You're speaking to the choir. I mean,
yeah. And you're the guy who introduced us too. So thank you for that.
I got him on Belial. My wife had to take him for Viscarian Tales. Like, oh yeah, no, I get it. He's a part of the family as far as we're concerned. He's like, the 6th member of Bonfire Press, basically.
He's absolutely fantastic. Really super talented artist. Yeah. Like on the low, I would honestly say like some of his stuff really screams like Brian Bolland to me. Oh
wow.
It's just really great. And Dead End Kids, that's like I absolutely love that series. Like he is just such it would be such a dream to have him do freaking anything. Love this guy.
Is this one of those Chris Mad heavy shows? Steph, let's be honest. This is a heavy show. Okay? It's just a heavy show.
Steph's just jealous that we didn't include him in on it. I asked him to draw Shin, and he was like, I don't draw anything that doesn't have boobs. And I was like, sorry, bud.
Oh, look at this.
Gotta learn how to
I
draw.
love t-shirts, but that Princess Fire 1 through 10 come to daddy. Oh, dude.
My man. Thank you so much. You rock. All right, we're at 1570 now, and we're at 49 backers. Holy crap.
I told you.
Effing crap. This is awesome. Oh, my God. This is the best, Chuck. This is the best day one I've ever had on Kickstarter. And you know what? You told me that it was going to be a lot different on here going, because the last time I had done a Kickstarter was back in 2018. So
yeah.
It was just a very different time. And, now it's crazy. So, Michael it was actually Stuart Bassett who was backer number 50, but Michael Williams, you are a fellow creator just like me, and you're doing samurai stuff too. So I'm gonna hook you up with a free t-shirt too.
Oh,
we got Chris Thayer in the house. All right, so Let me tell you guys about this motherfucker here. So Chuck, this is the guy I was getting into trouble with in Seattle.
Okay.
Him and Ron Miltz. They put out two great books. They got a book called Grace and another book called Legba, which is a jazz graphic novel. I sold their book on my show a number of weeks ago. Yeah, you're 50. Let's see where you're at. Stuart Bassett. I don't know who that is. Is it Wolf Gamer? Are you Wolf Gamer? No, Wolf Gamer is somebody else. Regardless,
they're garbage. Really, Chris?
No, they're not garbage. He always like talks it down. No. His books are not fucking garbage. They're fucking great, and he does everything himself. But that's besides the point. We were out to dinner in Seattle, and he's like talking, or I was talking during dinner, and I was like talking about, like the positivity of like comics and like how we all need to just like work really hard and all this stuff. And he goes, "Hey, Onrie, do you like Wendy's?" I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, I guess I like Wendy's." And he's like, "Wendy's balls on your chin." and then he came up with another one, which was, have you heard of this? Have you ever heard of this really great doctor? His name is Dr. Alfred Ligma, as in Ligma Nuts. And then there was Segundi's, Dr. Segundi's Nuts. And then there's also the famous Russian dictator Ivan Putinese. And I'm putting these balls in your mouth. I think we're gonna lose backers now.
I'm like, this is it. That's quite the dinner you had there.
That's pretty much that was what was happening the entire time. And I was using that line today on my sales show. I was like,
I saw that.
Yeah. Wendy's comics in your pile? Do you like Wendy's?
Did we actually go back to 49?
Back to 49. I don't know. Let's see. Probably. Right. No, we're at 52.
Oh, no. See, look at that. That's great.
That's it.
There was something you had said originally. You were like, hey, so I guess why don't we do you thought we were going to do the show in the morning and we were going to launch with the show.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
No, but then I said, no, don't do that. Or you were going to launch it tonight with the show.
Yeah. Well, I consulted you before when we decided to push it back. It was like you had a lot. You weren't for it until I explained why, and then you were like, "All right, let's do it." And then you invited me to come on the show tonight, which was
Well, actually, you know what's funny though? Last week, I was supposed to. I knew I had a show coming up, but I'm like, I really don't feel like doing a show. I'm just not in the mood. Blah blah blah. And I look, and I'm like, who's supposed to be my guest tonight? And it was you. And you were like, can we do a show next week? And I was like, yeah, we can. Shoved your name over to next week.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so great. No, and I totally get how it is too. There are times like I just don't want to do shows. Like I'm like so wiped out, and like and that, again, it's like that's the thing. It's like, oh, you get to live your dreams, so you're fucking happy all the goddamn time. Like, no, you're not. Sometimes you just don't want to talk to people.
Well, and that's the nice thing about these. They can be really energizing and exciting, like what we're having now, or sometimes it's just you're just not there. And luckily, I didn't have anyone, and I was just like, you know what? I don't fucking want to right now. I'm tired, and luckily, it's not like your show, where when your show you're making money, so you kind of.
Sometimes on today's show, I didn't make any money. Like,
well, no, but like, the potential.
Yeah, the potential too much.
So,
and go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Well, no, it's just like you have the potential to make money, right? Whereas, like with my show, I'm not making anything off it, and actually, I should be. I created a copy just so that I could show it off on the show and maybe make some tips, and I never did anything with it because I'm ridiculous.
How do you have time to do anything with it, though? It's like that's another thing too. It's like you have to have time to do all these other things. You can't just, if you're in the coffee business, then I get it. But like, you're building the Chuck brand, and yeah, it's one person at a time. But like, just look at how many people are in the room right now commenting. I guarantee you have more retention on your shows than a lot of other channels do, and certainly a lot more than some of my sales shows even do. And I think it's because you get to use the word fuck.
I believe so. Absolutely.
Can't say the word fuck on my show.
Blake says, I'm never in the mood. Hosting makes me sleepy. But Blake, you run a good show and you're not in the mood? Like, that's pretty great. I want a wife like that, who she may not be in the mood, but she still has a really good time every time. I love you, Wendy, and you always treat me great.
Thank you, Dr. Stundies.
Right? Live streams can be, they can be draining. And it's hard to tell people that this is work. Like what we're doing now, it's working.
It is. But here's the thing, like, Steph, how do you call it work when all you do is push a button and then just sit there and like say a bunch of dumb shit for 2 hours? Like, seriously. Like, Steph, work?
Luckily for him, he gets to draw circles during his show. So, I mean, he's working that wrist.
Yeah, I'm working my wrist too after hours.
That's a joke you can make here. Yeah.
Yes,
I do a podcast and a live stream. Yeah, because you are nuts.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of work. And Blake,
thank you, buddy.
I'd love to talk to you.
Blake has an amazing show. His show is Blake's Buzz. Check it out. Hit him up. It's a fucking terrific show. You definitely want to be on, at least because usually he's backed up. But even if you can get on one of his live shows, dude, great dude.
Yeah,
I love being on his show.
I definitely. I already reached out and sent him request. Yeah, just
good.
That's
Chuck has a strong audience for a writer live stream. Booze helps. Work takes him out. Okay, Brian, we love having you here, man. And if you do have any of those crazy questions of yours, you can always ask at another time, or just hit Onrie up, man. He's always open.
I'm as
Be
open.
Good to your wife.
I'm as open as a convenience store that's open 24/7. That was bad.
There you go. Well, that's something. They can't always be perfect. Hey, and Mike, we're not competing here. I believe actually we're on the same network. So if you want to show off your podcast, Blake, same for you. We're not competing, man. Show off your podcast. I love what you guys do. So you guys can feel free to share it. Yeah, there we go.
Canadian bacon in your show. You're not.
Yeah, right? We all have our own take on things. We all do it our own way. He says hit him up. So yeah, there you go. We got your backers. We're making connections on Onrie. Like, this is a night.
This has been a really great night. We're now at 51 backers and $1,630. This is a very strong day one. I'm just over the moon right now. I appreciate you guys so much. I honestly, I was terrified about getting back on Kickstarter for a long time. I was terrified about finishing this book too, because it'd been in production for just so long. Like 3 years was the amount of time that it took us to get Hunter and Destroyer 2 done. And Dak died, and Dak, David Anthony Kraft, my co-writer and editor on the series, he died right in the middle of production. Well, not in the middle, but like towards the end of us completing the art on the book. And that hit me really hard. That put me in a pretty dark spot. And he was also supposed to be the editor on Warline. So all of my creator work basically hit this level, like this kind of like stage of purgatory where I just didn't know where to go with anything. And the way Chuck and I started working was I just reached out to him, and I'd always wanted to work with you, Chuck. I wanted to work with you since the last time you had me on your show. And you had given me some tips on what I could do to kind of move things forward with my story. Like, what kind of music are you listening to? And, that kind of thing, like to help you with your writing. And that really helped me a lot. it kind of got some things going. But then again, after Dak's passing, I hit this other roadblock, and just simply having a conversation with you, which there were no strings attached to the conversation. It was just like, hey, I'm a friend and I just want to help you out. And you offered up some really great ideas that really helped flesh out one of our main characters in Warline, Kia, who is Warline's daughter. Chuck came up with just some really great ideas. And every single time I get stuck in Warline, I just refer to Chuck. I'm like, all right, Chuck, I'm stuck here. What do we do to fix this? And he's always got the answer, like, boom, right there.
One of my favorite moments, and this is not something, and I hope I'm not giving something away that I'm not. It's not about the book necessarily, but it's something that we like to do after hours. Am I allowed to talk about that?
What do we do after hours? What thing did we do?
It's not legal in all states.
Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit about that.
Okay,
yeah.
great. So,
are you talking about marijuana, man?
There we go. So,
that shit, man. That shit is bad for you, man.
We're in Emerald City. We're in Seattle. It's late at night. Me, him, and Doug were sharing this place together, and Doug doesn't smoke, and of course you can't smoke inside an Airbnb. So we go outside. We're having a smoke, and of course, we're riffing about Warline because we're kind of baked and we're just having a good time. And he's like, man, I want to do this thing where it's like a training montage, but I don't want to do a training montage. I'm worried about it because they've all been done.
Dude,
and I'm
really show everybody this page, by the way.
Oh yeah, go, dude, by all means, if you're able to.
Yes, but go on.
But it's one of my favorite moments in this book. We're working on this book because we're baked out of our trees, and I was just like, You did martial arts and I did martial arts, and whenever you're in those places, they usually have like the khatras on the wall, and you can see the different movements and stuff. And I said, what if we did that with Kia, and you see her doing all the movements, but you see her, and each set of khatras gets stronger and stronger until the last one. She's amazing. And he was just like, yes, like he was so excited about it, and we just like completely fleshed it out there. And then of course you give that idea to Dexter, and Dex fucking takes it to the whole other level. And then even the colorist added stuff because the colorist changed the belt colors, which was something I hadn't even thought about.
Yeah. There, I got it right there. You can share it now.
There we go. Dude, I love this so much.
This was just such a great page. Yeah. So like basically we laid this out together in Seattle, and yeah, we're both baked, and I just went, back to the room, and I put together like a collage of all these different figures. I just spent like hours looking up stuff, and then I showed it to Chuck, and I'm like, what do you think? And he was like, cool, send it over to Dexter. And it was kind of rough at first, Chuck, because remember, we didn't know where to put those Warline thumbs. And
yeah,
this is showing a tremendous passage of time, not just in her growing up, but him getting older. And I absolutely think this is also that time when we had that conversation about the layouts and how it's really the artist's job to do it. But that was the last page we laid out. We did the layouts for. After that, it was just like, Dex, you take it and you go all out, bro.
Straight up, man, I would love a fucking poster of that page, because I think that page is just killer all on its own. Like that it's almost like a splash page without being a splash page.
Well, I'm thinking one of the stretch goals for completing for funding this campaign is going to be to throw in the first 8 pages of Warline into the back of Hunter and Destroyer #2. So we're thinking that's going to be our top kind of stretch goal if we can hit $10,000, and we'll have some other stretch goals in between that'll be there to kind of like bake in some stuff, and but it'll be cool.
Maybe one of those, what you could do is instead of like to work up to getting the physical in the comic, you can have those 8 pages as a digital.
Oh yeah, That too, and you could just scan it, and there you go. You get the first 8 pages of Warline. I think that's an even better idea. Actually, that's a freaking great idea. And maybe you're right. Maybe just putting these prints together. I mean, is something we can do too. But I absolutely love that idea, and perfect.
Sweet. Yeah, no, dude. And I adore that page. We need to do a bacon and Pop-Tarts. Yes, I'm all about that, Mike. Hit me up. Yes.
Bacon and Pop-Tarts actually sounds really good right about now.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like chicken and waffles kind of deal, right? Like
totally. Yeah, for sure. I've been giving the dog these full moon jerky tenders, and these things smell so freaking good. They're human grade dog treats, but I guess we're not allowed to eat them.
Chris says, "Okay, Phil McCracken, I bought your 10 books."
Yeah. Who's Phil McCracken? What's the punchline with Phil McCracken?
Say it slow. Phil McCracken.
I did it. It's good. All right, we're $50 away from $1,700. Oh my God, Chuck, this is by far been the most amazing 24 hours I have ever seen on a Kickstarter. And here was the thing that you and I discussed about our strategy for this. We're going to wait until the middle of the campaign to reveal 2 really awesome variant covers that we're going to do. Variant something. They're definitely going to be a cover for something for sure that we're going to add. And it's going to be extremely limited and extremely awesome. And I don't want to give away anything unless you think we should give away something. What do you think? You're the editor.
I don't. No, I don't think we need to give anything away just now. It's still so early, guys.
It is.
We're day 1 of 30.
Yeah, no, Steph, I don't want to hire you to do a variant. You're not worth it. I'm sorry, buddy.
You're not worth it. Oh my gosh.
Backgrounds. I need backgrounds in the book. I mean,
you know what you should do? You should get a jam piece. Steph does the foreground, and Matt comes in and does the background.
It's all good now. All right, stop doing it. Just playing, of course. Steph, I have so much respect for you. You are awesome. And yes, maybe we'll talk over the embrace the white paper.
Untrue, Blake. I'm sure you'll get him out to a bunch of backers.
Oh, dude, Blake, I don't care about how rich or whatever. It's just having chats with awesome people. That's it, man.
Yeah.
You're cool.
And Blake is an awesome people. For sure.
I can see it. If Chuck likes you, which I know isn't really like, you basically just don't be an asshole, and Chuck will like you. It's really kind of that simple. So if you're good in Chuck's book, you're good in my book automatically.
I don't remember who it was, but I was telling someone, I was like, "Oh fuck, that guy pisses me off." I don't remember who it was, and they were like, "Whoa, you don't? There's people that you don't like?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just don't talk about them." Like,
it wasn't Steph, was it?
No, because I don't tell people that I don't like him. I try to keep that quiet.
What really talking about, is he?
That guy makes me just enough money that I'll accept his bullshit. I love you, Steph.
Yeah.
No, dude, Steph is, like, in all honesty, such a great dude. Really good friend, and a top fucking seller too. Like, he's another guy who pushes Kickstarters like fucking mad. So having him on your book is definitely an amazing thing.
Steph, I'm sorry. I just, I'm sorry.
It was funny because when Wendy first,
you guys wouldn't know this, but the dog farted just now, just as I said, I'm sorry to Steph. So it's gonna smell in here in a minute. I can smell that dried pepperoni stink right now.
Wow. Steph can do all the numbers on your page counts because he knows how to do the circles.
Circles, yes, he totally can. But here's the problem: is Matt sucks. Actually, Matt's pretty good. Matt's good. He's good at counting how many covers he does.
I'm a handful. Actually, no. Carrie does that. I don't think that's Steph at all. Carrie does the counting.
The real one who wears the pants in the household.
Right?
With the numbers. No, Steph's the shit. I absolutely love the covers and what he did for you with Belial, and I also saw some really cool stuff he did for Big Dog Inc. Actually sold some of those books. Steph is a fantastic cover artist, and he is just amazing. And I love how he teaches kids how to draw. He has an excellent show.
That's a fun show.
I love his program, and he gets it. He's awesome. Good. She should be in charge because you kind of stuff, dude. Sorry. You are not good. Here, stick to the page. You know what I'm gonna get Steph for Hanukkah this year? I'm gonna get him a protractor. So he doesn't
I was talking about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just flip it around. You can make your circles will be made for you automatically.
Well, and if you the protractors, if you have those ones where it's like the little point and then you put your pencil on, you draw the circle. If you push that point in hard enough, you've got nipples, man. Like
That's
you're good.
Wow, you just did all the work.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What do you even have to do?
You gotta just do it twice and then send out your invoices, Steph. Actually, no, have Carrie send out the invoices.
She's got this instant nipples. Think of the size.
Yeah, you're kind of limited in size. So what I was thinking about doing is getting one of those, those Russian dolls where they start out really big and then they open up and they become smaller. I want to get them that kind of protractor where it's like you could decrease the size. You could go from trainer's bra to double D in seconds.
See, now I want a cover of Russian dolls made by Steph Wilson, except for every time they get smaller, the tits all stay the same size all the way down. So eventually, it's just this like little midget with tits the same size as them.
That's a Warline concept. We're gonna have. Small boobs are for the weak. I agree with you, Steph. I am a goddamn boob person. I'm a boobs and booty person. I like me some booty, but I love me some boobies.
And Steph has said this is the year of the booty. He's been drawing a lot of booty lately.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Chris Mad's saying they make extenders for compasses.
Oh, that's what's yeah, compasses. Yeah. Yeah, he would definitely need an extender, like ass.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! What a good show.
You know, I can't imagine that an interview with Steph could last so long. So, Steph, what's your favorite thing to draw? Do you like drawing trains?
Should we just bring him in?
Yeah, I don't care. Bring him in.
No, I know what he hates to draw. He hates to draw lace and feathers and backgrounds.
Yeah,
I think those are his three. Steph, am I right? Those are your three no-nos? Your three big no-nos?
I once approached him, and I was like, hey, dude, do you want to like work and do like a variant cover for me? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I sent him all of my books, and he was like, this is like, I have to read this? I don't want to read this. Like, ew, gross. Like, that I have to do work now? That's disgusting. And I was like, yeah, no, sorry. This ain't going to work out. Feathers and water.
Feathers and water.
Wow,
I would think that water isn't that difficult. You just draw the pool and then have Carrie do the real work with the color.
This fucking guy. Who are you
Am I wrong?
He's hysterical, and apparently he used to be an '80s rock guy, or was he a '90s?
I'm sure he still is. No, '80s.
Grunge.
Sure, Steph.
Yeah, Steph was born in like the '60s, right?
He sent me the Library of Congress when I asked for one reference picture.
Well, I wanted you to have reference. I'm thinking geishas and peacock feather Sarah. Yes, yeah. Michael, I'm all about making stuff drop that. But here's the problem: just you can't pay him enough money to do it.
No, you don't. Yeah, you do not have that kind of money.
Screw it up so badly that I'll actually end up having to, he'll have to pay me. to unsee all the terrors of that.
You know what, actually? So that statement where I said you don't have enough money, that got me into trouble once. I was working at a bar, and I knew everyone at the bar, and I would bring everyone their food and whatnot. And I went by and I brought some food to some of the people at this one table, and a buddy of mine was sitting there, a regular customer, and he says, "I think I'm gonna get like 30 tacos," because it was almost. I was like, "Hey guys, it's almost closed," and he's like, "I'm gonna get like 30 tacos and like 10 burritos," and I was like, "Fuck you, you don't have that kind of money," and I just walked away and laughed. And I get back to my kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Motherfucker bought 32 tacos and 8 burritos. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, "Oh shit, he just did that." So I'm staring at this and I'm like, "What's my next move?" Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I walk out with the receipt. I put it on the table. I was like, "Fine, but I'm not fucking baking them." And he was like, "I was going to do it. If you're going to call me out," I was like, "No, you won that round. That's fine, but I'm not fucking making them. So get your money back." He's like, "Yeah, I didn't pay for them yet. We're good." He was like, "I'll give them to homeless people. I don't give a shit. If it makes you look bad, I'm in." I was like, "That's fair. That's very fair."
That's hysterical.
Oh, there he goes. I'll take a loan out because I'll just sell it in Japan and double my digits. Throw in a couple of tentacles, and you win that round, buddy.
Oh fuck yeah! Do they really do that? Like they make those black burgers with the octopus ink?
Yeah.
I gotta try that shit. Kind of want to try.
Honestly, it's just a color. They do the same with the buns, where they have the octopus ink in the buns, and it's like it's really just a color, and honestly, it doesn't look that appetizing, so it doesn't end up being as enjoyable. And so anyone who does enjoy it, they're just like, "Ooh, I like it because it's a black bun." You're like, "I can make you a black bun. I'll burn that motherfucker."
I'll burn that motherfucker.
So, but yeah, like it's nice, and yeah, I can make some mean tacos. Fucking Onrie and I in Seattle, we got to cook together, and we made a mean dinner together.
Chuck, what you did with those potatoes and the chicken was great. That was awesome.
Your salad.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm good at
Dude, I destroyed that salad, and I'm
a big salad saucer. What can I say? I like it.
I do not look like a guy who would destroy a salad, but I destroyed that salad.
No, that was a lot of fun cooking, and I actually love cooking. That's something I enjoy doing. In most days, I like to prepare my own meals.
Don't do it. Your shit turns black.
Does it really?
I'm sure temporarily.
Your food turns black. By the way, Trish, I hung out with Jason from Zenoscope in Seattle. We were partying in a nightclub together.
I thought she wasn't a huge Zenoscope fan anymore.
I'll just tell her who I hung out with. I was hanging out with another cosplayer.
Chuck such salad, still laughing. See? That's good, right?
It had bacon in it, Canadian bacon in it. Actually, it didn't have bacon in it.
No, but it had
cranberry.
Didn't you have goat cheese or something like that?
I did. I put goat cheese in there.
Yeah, it was really good.
This goat cheese comes from my mother's nipples.
Jason Candelas? Is that who it was? Oh, you actually tagged him?
Yeah. I don't know. Did she? Yeah.
That's what she says.
Yeah, it's possible. He's awesome. He's a great guy. I love him.
He's, especially now that you've tagged him, definitely a great dude.
Yeah, favorite person. No, he really is. He's just he was a super sweet guy. I loved him. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, dude, so we're winding down. We're already an hour and a half in. It doesn't feel like that. How did the campaign, because we wanted to do this. That was one of the things I said was, you were like, hey, what if we launch in the evening? And I said, no. Launch in the morning, and we'll make this a celebration in the evening. Because I've seen shows, and I've even had professionals be like, I was on a show where we did it as our launch show,
and it was just like the shittiest telethon ever. Where you're like, please, somebody throw money at us.
Well, the thing I'm kind of learning about this is that it's really a slow burn. You know, like when I hit that launch button yesterday, I was exhausted. Like I just got back from a 4.5 hour flight in Seattle. That was literally it.
Yeah.
And I needed to, you know, look over the campaign, make a bunch of changes, and I just kept putting it off. By 10 o'clock, I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep, and I just put my alarm on. By midnight, I just hit that launch button, and I went back to bed. And I didn't give it a second thought. And I woke up this morning, and we were at $800 already. And I'm like, holy crap, like, that's awesome. So overnight, we made a lot, but I don't think it was $800 in the first hour. No, it was $800 over, you know, a 6 or 7 hour period, because now that the campaign is going, it's working around the clock. And I think by today around like noon, we were, you know, still under $1,000. And throughout the show I did on CBSN, we got to like 1,200. We were actually under 1,200. We didn't hit higher than 1,200 until much later than that. And now we're at close to $1,700, which is really great. We're $15 away from $1,700, and that's incredible. I'm really,
What is that, 53 backers?
That's 52 backers. We have 52 backers now, so that's really fantastic for a day one. I'm really, really pleased with that, and you know, we worked really hard leading up to this campaign to make sure we had all our ducks in a row, and it's tough because you can never be like fully prepared. But for me, it's kind of like doing what I do in live sales is kind of the same thing in the sense that it's a slow burn, you know, because anytime you do a live sale, you're not going to get the sales right away. First, like sometimes it takes like a half hour, sometimes it takes an hour before one person buys a single comic. But then all you need is like that 2 or 3 people who are going to come in and buy those books from you, and they put you over for the day. And we still got those early bird rewards, which are just absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend you guys grab it. So here's the deal with the early bird stuff, Chuck. You get all 6 variant covers. That is the 3 variant covers we did for issue 1, plus the 3 variant covers we did for issue 10. You get all of them for $50, and the combined value of those books is actually $60. So we're taking $10 off of that. Free shipping for anyone in the U.S. If you're outside of the U.S. and you want to like partake in it, I'll ship internationally, but I gotta have a sense of how much it's going to cost, and then I can work that in. Chris, have a good night, man. So you know, I've been chatting back and forth with people on Kickstarter who've been messaging me to make sure that that their needs are being met, and you know, customer service is a really important aspect of what I do. So it's really kind of like just running your shop and having it up and running. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing now. Now that I'm like in it, I kind of get how this is going to work. And it's not going to be that every single day I'm going to have the kind of results that I had today. It's going to kind of be a slower burn throughout everything. But I know we'll hit our goal. We're already close to being like 2/3 of the way, or 1/3 of the way there, which is really great. A little under that, right? We have to hit 2,500 to hit that, but we'll hit it. You know, I don't doubt it.
You'll hit it in your first 48 hours. I think you can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, and I highly recommend everybody take advantage of those early bird rewards. It's really a fantastic package. And, you know, so far, a lot of people have been jumping on issues 1 through 10. But of course, if there's something that we're missing in the campaign that you need specifically, like Onrie, I want a t-shirt, that's available as an add-on. But if you really want a t-shirt, I'll add on the reward. I will get you guys whatever you need at whatever capacity you want. I got you guys covered. Yeah. The dreaded Kickstarter, well, I planned for that. And, you know, Chuck and I, we got a plan for that. It has nothing to do with Steph. Steph's not allowed to be a part of it.
which is what makes it a good plan.
That's what makes it a great plan. So that's why it's gonna work.
Yeah, the dead zone is tough, but you know what? And I think a lot of people are starting to get this. They recognize that a Kickstarter is not just, it's not like, I mean, it is and it isn't, but it's not like just selling your books at an open market at a convention. It's a fucking event. You have to make it a big deal. And so there will be days where I'm like, you look at your campaign, you'll go, fuck, it's dead. Like, this is just, it's like getting slammed into a wall, and then you go, okay, cool, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna stir people up and we're gonna talk, and I mean, that's why, like, I can't even tell you the last time we did Belial, which was like 12 years ago, I think. The last time we did Belial, I can't even tell you how many live shows I did, because I would just like randomly go live and just be like, all right, let's sell some fucking books, what's going on, let's talk. And it's part of the job.
I agree. It is part of the job, and it's also a matter of putting yourself out there consistently, and understanding that, you know, you can't have a great day every day in the campaign. There's gonna be those tough moments.
Yeah. See, Wendy said, I had a few days that I only had one backer, but I was grateful for that one.
Yeah.
This one day, and that's huge, because there's a lot of campaigns that can't boast that.
Yeah.
That can't say that have to say, like, we had several 0 backer days or even negative backer days.
Oh yeah, because there's people who drop out of stuff all the time. I've seen it. That experienced it.
I think Blau was your first cover, quite possibly. I'm sure it feels like it.
Yeah, you know what? It'll be his never cover is a Shin. Never gonna happen.
Sorry. Are we gonna do a Warline cover with him?
No. Why?
No.
Fuck no, dude. That's such a bad idea to have him do. What can he do for Warline anyway?
He could do a Kia Karate Kid homage.
No, actually, I just look for Belial 3 and 2020. Oh my god!
Next month. This fucking guy right here. That's so great. I want to know more about Warline. I'm a Leo. Okay, cool. Give these guys, before we do head out, give these guys the pitch for Warline, because of course they've got this great book here, but this one's coming out right after.
Yes, it is. It is actually. So Chuck actually has a perfect pitch for Warline. You want to give the pitch?
Which one is mine? What is it again? Oh, isn't it Training Day meets Karate Kid? Is that what I said?
Oh my God, no, the real pitch, the one that your 30-second pitch.
I don't remember. I know it was good, but I think I was high too when I said it.
Yeah, it was perfect. I actually wrote it down, but I have it on my laptop, not on this computer. But it was basically a warrior returns to the scene of his greatest failure to make amends.
Amends.
No, I totally.
It was something like that, though.
It's the Karate Kid.
It's the Karate Kid. No, it was something like a great warrior returns to the scene of his greatest failure in order to create a lasting legacy or something like that.
God, it was really good, guys. I promise you. And
it was good. It'll be on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it'll be on the Kickstarter. We promise. But
good to see you, Eric.
Yeah, if you love Mr. Miyagi, you'll love. Hey, you spelled Miyagi wrong, asshole.
Rest in peace, Mr. Miyagi. Slash Alfred.
Couldn't bother himself to spell your
or Arnold. Right. Do you know that he also played Arnold on Happy Days?
Yeah. Of course I knew that. Are you telling me you didn't know that?
I did.
Well, I didn't, so that's good that you told me just now. But
you didn't actually know that?
No, I did know that. I was just
God.
Actually, I did.
So, yeah. Shin, guys, badass. You guys absolutely love it.
We didn't tell him the real pitch Warline. We kind of
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Warline is basically my COVID machination, and it's about this warrior who like comes back to the city he once protected, and is now trying to get revenge against the government who basically destroyed his life. So we're still working on refining the pitch, but the first issue's done. In terms of the art and the coloring, we just got to get it lettered, and it's a very bloody and brutal book, as Chuck puts it. You're going to need to you're going to need to sit down and take a moment after you read it. It's you're going to need a break after you read it, because it is very violent and it does move very fast. It's very fluid, but it's a very emotional and very powerful book. And each issue of Warline is going to be 3 issues. Each issue is going to be 48 pages. It really does talk a lot about what's going on in our own government, and fears, and how fear kind of plays in this big role of control and things like that. So Warline is basically this outcast figure who doesn't give in to control and societal standards, and is fighting against all that stuff.
I would say it very much has like a Dark Knight Rises meets like Blade the Vampire Hunter sort of feel to
I was
it.
thinking Blade meets Demolition Man. That's really kind of like what I've been using.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right? Kinda?
Yeah. Do they raid Mar-a-Lago?
Yes. No, it's not really like the main villain of our story is sit down and read it. Shut up, Steph. Shut the fuck up. It's not a great pitch. Yeah, our pitch really did suck for Warline. I thought we were really going to be able to suck people in. Instead, we Segundi's nuts on it.
Yeah, right. Well, but Joe said it. You will refine it just like you forced me to refine my pitch. So yeah, it'll get better. We got time.
Yeah, absolutely. I you know what, Chuck? I know the moment we launch Warline, it's just it's gonna pop.
It's an amazing book, and I remember because when you came to me with it, it wasn't even that we were going to make this book.
I liked Warline so much. I took a crap.
I liked Warline. That's pretty great. When you brought the idea to me, you were basically like, I don't even know if I can make this book, but I got the idea in my head. I'm going to throw it out at you, and then we'll just see if it's going to work or not. And so when it was all done, I was like, yeah, you got to make this. This is fucking cool. Like, it's a cool idea, and we riffed off each other, and we continued to make it better, and it only continued on as we worked on it. Like, even as we were like, as Dexter was working on it and drawing it, you would come to me and you'd be like, I don't think I'm 100% happy with the scene. All right, cool. What can we do? What do you think we got to do? And we even tightened it as we went. Like, just kept working on it and kept working on it.
Absolutely. I loved working on it so damn much. And I'm just absolutely thrilled with the way Warline has turned out. It's a tour de force. It's amazing. Absolutely love it.
That's really good.
Fuck you, Steph. Oh my god, that was really good, buddy.
That's really good.
That was gold. That was fucking gold.
Gold.
You know what he did just now? We were at the club, and fucking Steph walked up to me, and he said, "Hey, Onrie, what are the 5 fingers saying in the face?" And he slapped my ass just now. You guys all witnessed this happen. Steph Wilson is a habitual line stepper. Next time you're going to hear the story of how I beat his ass for making my couch all muddy and dirty.
That's right. I was going to say, he's going to come over to your place in Chicago, and he's just going to be like, fuck yo couch! Fuck yo couch!
And I'll need to have Eddie Murphy hold him down so I can break his legs.
Oh, dude. Yes. Dude,
Yes.
we would,
Yes.
Blake, we would be all about that. Absolutely.
Yeah. How about we do some, Blake, I'll reach out to you. Let's see if we can figure something out. I'd love to have Steph on. Though I gotta tell you, Steph is not as funny in person as he is in the chat. He fucking sucks in real life. His voice is like so fucking dry. It's like hearing his voice is like listening to Ben Stein, you know, be like Bueller, you know. That's really kind of how
Oh, this guy. Thank you, buddy. Just as we start to tear him apart, he starts to be nice, make us feel bad for the shit talking.
Hey, Steph, that comment makes me want to take a number 1.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, cool. So it's been a win for everybody.
Absolutely.
I think let's pretty much. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we head out, Onrie?
Good. We had a great show. I mean,
we had an amazing show.
Yeah, we really did. We went from having 43 backers to 52 backers. Now we're at close to $1,700. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for believing in the work that we're doing on Eastern Shin. And you guys are going to see Chuck on this book going forward. He's an outstanding editor. We're going to go in right now and refine issues 2 and 3, really get a new edition out there very soon. So Chuck is going to have his credits on every single issue of Eastern Shin. It's going to be really great. We're going to
I am here until further notice, people.
Yes, yes.
You guys, thank you so much. I don't remember. Actually, Mike, are you? No, I don't remember who's here next week, but I have another great guest next week because all I have is great guests. I don't know how to bring in shitty people. So thank you guys so much. Onrie, thank you for coming out, buddy. I love hanging out with you. And, dude, this book is going to be the bomb. You guys are going to love it. Please check out Eastern Shin out today. It's a freaking gorgeous book. I know. I saw 18 PDFs. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, next time you're on, Joe, it'll be even better. I believe it. So, everybody, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Blake. We appreciate you, man. We will be talking real soon. My name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. Take care, everybody.